left the meeting. Why?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Didi has made me host and left the meeting.
Right, I will
Left the meeting. Why?
go to the share screen option. Who uses Python today? Python is applied in revenue sectors that I told you. Google makes extensive use of Python. Our favorite website, Google, uses the Python. Intel, Cisco, these all are the companies that they use Python. The YouTube video sharing is also responsible for
সমস্ত
using Python.
রেকর্ডিংটা অন করো।
This is a fact that we will.
Now start. Voice is not clear.
What can I do with Python? Let's quickly revise system programming, graphical user interface. Here's a sample code of Python. Like x equals to 34 minus 23, and we have y value as a string named hello, and a float also is 3.45. If the condition is already given, then it prints either x or y. And to understand the basic Python strategy is that in variable types don't need to be declared. Here we do not need to declare the variables like in C we used to do that int num1 num2. No, that's not required. Python figures out the variable types on its own. We do not have to mention the types. The assignment that is applicable is either a single equals to, and for comparison is double equals to. For numbers, it's plus, minus, into, divide, and percent that we use as mod. And concatenation and formatting follows. Now we come to the conclusion. Python is an object-oriented, high-level programming language, and is the
রেকর্ডিং অন করো, রেকর্ডিং অফ হয়ে গেছে।
website various purposes. So we must try, enjoy, and edit Python language. Thank you about Python beginners. This was enough, and I would now require to explain you the part of Django that is unknown to many people. Like this is the introductory side of Django.
সমস্যি রেকর্ডিংটা অন করো।
And what we will actually learn in this website, in this presentation. What is Django? Their apps, models, and views, the URL structure, the templates, the admin interface, the forms, the examples or tutorials. Okay, so most of the Python is implemented with the help of Django. Now then, we will study what is Django. So there is a fair description over here. A shiny web framework that allows one to build dynamic, professional-looking websites in Python. Need to make Then we will come to the next slide. Some of the features of Django. When we are using the term app,
Your screen is
object
not
relational
visible.
mapper is there to connect all the models of the Django version. Automatic admin interface is available. Flexible template language is available, which is mostly HTML and CSS. URL design we can do on our own. Here is the structure actually how Django works. Suppose here in this models and views, if controller here one is related to other, user interface is related to controller, controller is related to view, controller is also related to model, but model is not related to view. That all these confusions will be solved by a real life project. I will show you that, but before that we need to study a bit. The app layer actually gives outputs in the form of HTML. We use HTML for the output. The Django way, the amazing apps, what we can do. Django doesn't work like PHP. PHP is a server-side programming language, but Django doesn't work like PHP. Django organizes our websites. An app represents one component of website. Example, a simple web poll, blog, etc. Apps can be in different websites. You can run many apps concurrently also. Each app has its own data and web pages associated with it. That is called models and views. In actually, when I'm speaking about the terms, I must also ensure that models are the form, a type of form where actually in the model section, what we are going to build, that model section is created, and that is mapped to views. Now let us see what is views. Views is different web pages. Here we actually define the functions. Models represent the data, because in models only it is written what data we should include in the website or not. Django has basically models.py. Py is the extension of Python programming language. Three models are there: models.py, views.py, and urls.py. Now we will see about the models. What do the models actually do? Models store data in your app. As I told you that all the data registered inside the model only. Key for making dynamic websites. When you are not working so much like we work in static websites, it's not needed over here. Models are implemented as Python classes in models.py file. So where do we find that models? It is in the file of models.py. It's already named. You don't have to name it. And Django also allows you to access or change a database. Whenever needed, you can change the elements as well as the details of the database. That facility is always available to you. Like models work in this style. Here it's written that class. We need to define a class for models. Then the model name is written. Then we are having one attribute and its descriptions. One attribute and its descriptions. So in this way, the model follows. And this is the function that we write in views.py and save it as like this. Save it to the database. Don't worry, I'm going to relate you with the real life project. We can create this type of database if we don't want to create the front end. We can create the database using these create table and all. These are some of the functions then. although Django certainly does do a lot for you, it helps to know a bit about database. So actually, Django is for
শুভম
the
আমাকে
database.
অ্যালাউ করো শুভম ওই
Creation of
ওই
database.
রুমে আছে তো
When designing a model,
অবশ্যই
it's useful to
শুভম
think about good database practice. First, instead of thinking of designing a model, we must always think about a good database practice. So, nutshell is not needed. Yeah. When we do save the database, we have something like this. Here you can see the patient ID, last name, first name, room number, etc. All are saved here. The above roofing is done and the data will be transferred later. Now, views. What is views? Till now we have studied about models. Views are Python functions. They make the web pages users see. So by the word view, we can express that, yes, I'm seeing something. So views are the Python functions that makes the people see the web pages actually. Can make use of models for getting data. For data models, views is required. Otherwise, if map is not there, then views is actually incomplete. View function take input in the form of HTML response objects. They return also in the form of HTML response object, basically HTML output. That I already said that HTML is necessary for our output in Python programming language. Now is the question that we have seen all the models that they need to be inserted into a Python programming language. So where are the HTML, CSS, these type of things, where are they stored? They are also stored in a folder named templates. This is something like when you define a function in views, we always use this term def. Then the name of the model, not actually model, you can give any name, but that name should be remembered as it is going to be placed in the URL section. Templates we have seen about HTML and CSS, that's told over here. So for there are some loops associated with Python language, like for loop. We start with person for and then end for. Then if statement. If statement is this type. If condition is declared, else, and end if. So if we display it in the